some mountain music like Grandma and Grandpa used to play.
Oh, CO. It's that time again for another front porch talk. Alright, well, last night was very exciting. Now today is Sunday, and I think it's around 1, 2 o'clock, something like that in the afternoon. But last night, around, I went to bed, was going to go to bed real late, right? You know, ended up, it was like 2 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that, right? So anyway, you know, everything's real quiet. But all of a sudden, I hear a bunch of noise or a ruckus going on. The chickens was carrying on something fierce, so I got the flashlight, got my ball bat, come out to see what was going on. At first, I couldn't see nothing. Flashed the light in there into the coop. You know, all I seen was just the chickens carrying on, so I thought, okay, well, I'll open up, maybe I'll see something. So I looked around kind of casually, everything looked okay, and the chickens stopped at that point. But when I shut the gate, they started in again. I mean, now hold on here. So I looked in there, and I noticed down at the bottom there was a bunch of chicken feathers. And I was thinking, wait a minute. You know, I looked in there, and there was no chicken carcass in there. So I'm thinking something's funny, you know. So I go in there and I looked in the hen box, the nesting box. And guess what I found? A dirty possum. So where it was at, you know, it was hard to, you know, get to him. So I was in there, started taking it like that, you know, the ball bat in, you know, hit him in the head. And then, still having a hard time trying to get that thing out, you know, so, I figured, well, I didn't have any gloves or nothing, so, I went and woke up my brother. He came out to help me, because I didn't want none of the chickens getting out. Now, mind you, see, I have 11 chickens, right? I got 11 chickens. And, so anyway... Oh, that was my brother. That was a big old sneezer. Anyway, so I got 2 brothers here, but the one I woke up, he came out and he had his gloves on, so he had this big pole with a hook on it, and he kind of pulled it a little bit where he could grab its tail, and he grabbed its tail, held it out, took it out, and I had to shut the gate and everything. So took it out there, and he was talking about releasing. I said, no, man. I said, that thing will just get right back in there and get it again. Now, mind you, I'm for all animals living and things like that, but I'm also believe in protecting animals too, and I didn't want that thing getting back in there again. Because obviously it tried to get one of the chickens, but there was some eggs in there, so I decided it was going to settle for the easiest thing, the eggs. But, so we took it further down, and I had to go and get his piece, and we had to dispatch it, you know. So, anyway, I came back and was checking on the chickens and everything. You know, everything looked okay. So I figured in the morning I'll find out where that thing got in. I still haven't found out where that thing got in. I'm puzzled on that one. But anyway, I figure I'll find out sooner or later. But anyway, this morning when I was letting them out, I usually at night when they go in, I try to get a head count. Sometimes that's not always possible, because it's usually they like to wait to the last moment to get in, and you can't hardly see a thing at that point. So I thought, okay, well, I'll do a head count this morning when I let them out. So I did. Instead of 11, there's 10. So I was sitting there looking over them all. See, now I have 3 buff Orpingtons. Now there's only 2. So one's missing. There's no feathers anywhere, no yellow feathers. I have a black hen, I call her Black Betty. Anyway, her feathers is down there, but she looks fine, right? You know, there is no golden yellow feathers anywhere in there. And I looked around, I don't see none in the yard and thereabouts, so something's up. Yeah. So yeah, I was but anyway, see, I got up real late this morning. I didn't hear the alarm go off because I mean it was real. Time was all over and done. It was about around 4 or 5 o'clock. You know, when I managed to get in bed and go to sleep, and I didn't get up until almost 11 o'clock. You know, and it's like, man. Well, that's just part of life, you know, I mean, but these things happen. But I had a thought. Possum in the hen house. Think about that. Let's use that metaphorically. I just made up a word, yeah. Anyway, figuratively speaking, think about it. Alright, now think of this country as the hen house, and we are all the hens and roosters here in this big old hen house. But we don't have just one possum in the hen house, we got a bunch of them. And I can tell you by spelling it out for you who those possums are. It's called COMMUNISM or COMMINISTS. Yeah. And they have destroyed this country something fierce. I mean, you know, look at it this way. Whether you like or dislike Trump, he's done more for this country, and he never did this damage like this to this country. He did more to help it, and at least other countries respected him. All these other countries now laughing at our country because we have a leader. He's not really a leader. He belongs in a hospital. Serious. I mean, he's an old man. Now, even if he had it, if he had all his faculties there, I would say that dude needs to be locked up. But he needs to be put in a hospital. He's got some serious. He don't know. Everyone, we all tend to forget sometimes, and we get mad at him for all this stuff, but you got to remember, he reads this stuff. I mean, they tell him what to say. He don't have no clue what he's saying, and that guy is you know, I mean, the stuff that comes out of his mouth about that, you know, I mean, heck, if you listen to him, he's part black, he's part white, he's part Irish, he's part Persian and everything else. He don't know what he's doing or half of what he's saying. It's just words out of his mouth. But there's people that's pulling his strings. They are the ones that should be arrested, locked up. He needs to be in a hospital. He needs to be something. He needs help. You know, and but here we got these communists, these possums, and they're destroying the hen house. It's exactly what's going on. And we all need to wake up, because we we're just sitting back, and we're more or less, it seems like all we're doing is just complaining and not really doing anything about it. It's up to you what you're going to do. But the thing is, war is looming for this country. So the question is, what are you going to do? Are you going to prepare, or wait till the last minute and then it's too late, and then going to complain that, where's my food? There ain't no food, and we got no power, and I ain't got no internet? I like the days when there wasn't no such thing as internet, where people could socialize in person, talk to one another, write letters, because I mean, you had to physically write, which made it personal. This stuff here, sending emails, I mean, it's like a double-edged sword, it has, its purpose, and good, but yet it tends to do more cutting, hurting, and causing more damage than good. If things would have been done like it was supposed to, be used for what it was supposed to be used for, then it would be really good. I mean, you look at cell phones. I mean, back when there wasn't no cell phones, which that was good, but yet there was the problem is, like, you was out on the road and your car break down, and, well, guess what? You was kind of in a jam, because you'd have to go walk maybe miles to find the nearest cell phone, payphone. So, yeah. But people don't want to get along these days, and that's sad. And too much gossiping and spreading disinformation. I'm not talking about, well, they do it on the political stuff, but I'm getting on the personal thing. They spread too much gossip, and he said, she said, and this one said, I know that they wouldn't lie because this one said this and this and that. That's a bunch of hogwash. That's exactly what that is. We're human beings, all right? And we should act like human beings. Heck, even wild animals get along better than the way the people are these days. That's true. We need to start acting civil. But see, the way things is all going, it's not getting any better. It's getting worse, all right? I thought I would just throw this in. But there is an encouraging thought. Let us pray for one another, because prayer does a body good. We need to pray for one another. We need to be civil to one another. All right? Think about that. That's just for starters. But what we need to do is get our hearts right. To get it set right. Set right with the beautiful Great One, and to get it right with one another. But that can only generally happen through and with His help. We need to pray for one another. Don't ostracize others, because of your pride. Pride can be a good thing. It can be but mostly a devastating thing. Anger, hate, backbiting, backstabbing. That'll get you nowhere. It gets none of us anywhere. So we have to take a good look at ourselves first. And then we need to think about getting, things right, also between one another. Also with your family. It's not good that you be angry with your father or your mother, and vice versa and stuff, or with your brothers or your sisters and stuff. Yeah, we all make mistakes. We all do things, sometimes that may offend someone, and it's not necessarily intentional. Some people do it intentional, and that's wrong. But we need to make things right, is what I'm trying to get at. We need to make peace with one another. Make peace with the beautiful Great One. That's the most important thing. So take a look at your heart and one another, and start reevaluating what you're doing and what's going on, what's mostly important to you. All right, think of it like this first. Is your family first? I mean, God, the beautiful Great One, is He first. Your family second. Your friends, those who you consider your other family that's not related by blood, and then we'll say last of all, YouTube or community or whatever platform community you're on or whatever. But we need to see what our priorities are. Go down the list. Take a look at ourselves. And see what we can do to make things right. Now, if somebody comes trolling on your channel, yeah, it can be very upsetting. I know it can. But there's a remedy. Instead of just continuously fussing at them, and all this for, and then all that, just get them removed off of the comments, off your, where they can't, and if you're live, where they can't come in and comment, if they're troublemakers. But the thing is that try to make peace first, if it's possible. And I said if it's possible, okay? But we need to learn to get along with one another, okay? Time is short. We're not getting any younger. One day, our name and our number is going to be called, and then where is that going to leave us? That's a good question. Got to think about it. So you need to make sure your affairs is in order between you and the beautiful Great One, and also everything is squared away, made at peace with others, family, friends, because you never know. It's really something to think about. But right now, we also have this problem with the possums in the henhouse. Now, you don't go around dispatching them or anything like that. That's wrong. But justice has to be served. So, when you pray, also pray that God's justice will be done. Pray that justice will be done on the unjust, those who are evil, on these possums. But, but pray for the possums too. So, anyway, I've said enough. But, one more thing. And I just wanted to sit there, make this known, the reason why I do not do TikTok. Alright, I mean, there are a few things that gets on there that's funny, but the main reason why I don't is because it's led by the Chinese government. No, that's not conspiracy theory thing. It's not the aluminum hat thing. It's a fact. And ain't helping no communists. Ain't giving them no headway and giving them help, unknowingly giving them information and stuff. And if I was you, I'm not telling you you have to. I'm just saying if I was you, I would seriously consider getting off of TikTok, removing it off of your mobile devices and stuff. Get rid of the app. Okay. Think about it, because it's already, we got enough possums going around in this hen house, so we don't need a bunch more running loose around all around on the world. But but this is our hen house. Yeah. This is our chicken coop. So, you know, yeah, I think you got my meaning, but I just wanted you to know I don't do TikTok no more. Alright? I tried it a little bit, you know, and stuff and all that, but when I realized and found out the truth about it, I quit using it. I got rid of it. Don't want to have nothing to do with TikTok or Tic-Tac or whatever they want to call it. And if there's any others that is owned and ran by the Chinese, I'll get rid of it too. If I ever find out that YouTube is, I'll get rid of YouTube too. So, but anyway, I thought I would share that little bit of porch talk with you. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. And if you have a song request or something, let me know, okay? I love you all. You are in my prayers, and I do care about every single one of you. And if there's any future troublemakers in the works there, well, love you too. Might not care for your trouble, but still love you anyway. But, you know, you're always free to leave comments and stuff, but if you're uncivil and you're mean and rude and crude, I'll just remove you, that's all. And go on and still pray for you and leave it at that. Alright, y'all will take care of yourselves. Watch your six. Be blessed. And, you know, because I don't do porch talk all the time, but every now and then I do, so I'll catch you on the next porch talk, alright? If you have any song requests, let it be known. So, until then, you have a blessed day or evening, whichever it is, what part of the world you're from or in. Anyway, have a good one. I love you all. And until then, let me say, aho and wado.